Hey there, and welcome back to Q&A the Librarian Way. I'm Julia from Stylish in the Stacks.
And I'm Emily from the Gnoming Librarian.
I feel like the camera is really high this
week. It is.
We
have a
feel
good
like I'm
angle
looking
going
up.
on.
This week we are going to talk about books turned into movies. I feel like lately we have just been flooded with young adult books turned into movies, which is awesome because a lot of books have been getting really good attention.
And the bad.
For the good and the bad.
Yeah.
That's how it always is.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're kind of on a good streak. I don't know. There have been some good ones lately. So we're going to talk about those and what we think about them, the ones that we've seen, any program ideas that we have. So again, we're not really doing questions this week. If you can see the bowl, since you're so high up there.
I see it. It's
can you?
clear.
Okay, it is clear. We're mostly just going to go through different books that have recently been turned into movies. So one thing I do at my library, I've done this for about 3 years, and I've really had success with it, is I have a books to movies bulletin board. Now, let me just preface this by I think that is kind of overdone. I see that all over the place, but here's the catch with mine is that I only have current books to movies. Because, I mean, let's be honest, we all know that, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was turned into a movie, Harry Potter, we know that. So when I see bulletin boards that have books, that have been turned into movies ages ago, it's like, come on.
But then at the same time, some teenagers might not realize
that's true.
Charlie and the Chocolate
I didn't know
Factory.
there was a movie over the Westing Game, which is one of my favorite books ever. It was a cheesy,
It was cheesy, but it was still.
It was the Westing Game, yeah. So anyway, my bulletin board is called From Small Print to the Big Screen, and I update it every month. And that's kind of nice because, Flowers in the Attic was turned into a Lifetime movie, and a lot of teenagers didn't know that. And some of these, movies they had no idea were books. So.
Well, and there's also some books that they have movies like Speak by Lori Halse Anderson. Was that a Lifetime? That it wasn't on the big screen. So yeah, that there's other adaptations out there that might not be the big screen. That they should maybe see.
Get a lot of attention.
We of course do the bookmarks and the book lists. The really cool thing about books to movies is that you can connect non-readers to a book. Even if they don't read the book, if you do like a book to movie club, and when that comes out on DVD, show it, then you have that, they're there, you're having that conversation, and they don't realize they're also discussing a book and what's happening.
And you could even put on your display, next to the movie, what you're going to miss that's from the book, and just have a couple of bullet points of things they won't get, like Divergent, what happened with Edward getting his eye gouged out.
That's I'd make a very cool passive program. Do you remember those pictures that it would be two what you thought were identical pictures and you had to find what was missing? I mean, you could very easily do a passive program like that.
Yeah,
like
you could.
What is from the book and what isn't, or what is from the movie and what isn't, and kind of compare the two.
Yeah, what three things were missing from the movie? That's a great idea.
Yeah, it might make kids who didn't read the book want to read the book. Like, ooh, that's in it? Like you said, oh, okay, that's missing. I want to read what happens there. So it's a good opportunity. And if you do a book to movie club, you're creating an environment where your readers are comfortable, non-readers are comfortable, which I think is really important. Just kind of giving that image of the library that not everybody that comes in is a big reader, and you don't have to be a big reader. There is something for everybody, so I like that.
Yeah.
So what has been your favorite lately?
I really did like Divergent. I saw it twice, actually. I did not have high hopes for it. I did not think I was going to like Shailene Woodley at all. I did not see her as Triss.
Yeah.
And I still have a little bit of a different image of Triss in my mind. But I thought she did great. I really did. She went above my expectations. Of course, there's a couple differences from the book, but I was okay with those differences. A couple of them I thought made a little more sense, even like when she and Four are captured at the end, when they're in the abnegation sector, and in the book, they take them back to the erudite headquarters to kill her in a room that fills with water, and instead in the movie they just they're getting ready to shoot her out, and I'm like, that's probably what they would have done to save time, Like, we want rid of her, let's just get it done now. So I could totally see it.
I liked it better than the book.
What?
I didn't really jump on the book bandwagon.
Okay.
I haven't finished the series. I probably will eventually. Well, I have that problem that I read number one, and then there's such a long wait for number two, and then I kind of forget what happens in number one, and I have to reread it. It just becomes a thing.
But now you've seen the movie, so you're
Yeah,
you're
I
good.
can
You're
go
caught up.
on
Yeah.
without feeling bad. But I did. I was surprised how much
Yeah.
I enjoyed Divergent. I thought the pacing was really well. I mean, it kept it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
moving
long
and-
movie, and I didn't feel like I was sitting there for 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
so I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I did too. Okay, your turn.
I just watched Ender's Game that came out on DVD not too
Okay.
long ago. Have you read
I
Ender's
have
Game?
not.
That was a book that surprised me. I loved
I've heard
that book.
great things about
It
the book.
is a harsh book, in different ways. I mean, just the treatment of kids, but it's such a well-written book. But on that end, the movie didn't even come close to the
Well,
book
you
and
know,
the depths of the book.
Yeah, my husband and I were on an airplane recently, and that was the movie they were showing, and we kind of phased out after 30
visually,
minutes.
it is what I imagined.
Okay.
But there was so much key stuff missing that it just it was fluff. It was
Yeah.
just a fluff movie.
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt, and we lost interest.
Yeah. So definitely read the book on that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
visually neat, but didn't hold up.
I hate to say it, but I actually have not read The Book Thief.
What?
I know.
What is wrong
I
with
know, I know. But I did see the movie. Have you seen the
I
movie?
have not seen the
Okay.
movie.
I really liked the movie.
Is death a narrator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They did not list that on IMDb
Yes.
forever, and I was like, well, no, because that's
and,
what sold
and
the
that
book.
part was interesting to me. I thought the voice of Death didn't fit the tone of the movie. I don't know. It is a he, I guess, in the movie. It didn't fit, but every time he spoke, you knew something bad was about to happen. So there was always that foreboding.
I'm glad
I think
that's
his
there.
voice wasn't as foreboding as I would have wanted. I expected more of a Liam Neeson voice, and I
Oh.
felt like it was not nearly that
High and squeaky.
intense,
Oh, no.
So, but in terms of the plot and the story and the actors, I was really into it, and it was a pretty long movie.
I need to see
I liked
that.
it a lot. Yeah.
That was the one. Like I said, they didn't list death.
Yeah.
On IMDb
And that's what
forever,
makes
and that's
the book
what
so
almost
unique.
Yeah, that's what almost. I was like, no, I can't go see
Yeah.
this movie. And it was the foreshadowing at the beginning of each chapter, and you knew
Yeah.
something bad was happening. And I mean, that was one of those books I cried through the whole book, drove my friends and family crazy.
I think that's why I haven't read it, because I know it's
It's
especially
good,
with
though.
summer coming. I'm like, oh,
I like a good cry every once in a while, a good cry book. I squished too many together last summer, and I was a wreck for a couple weeks because those tend to stick on you
Yeah,
for a while, and you just
yeah.
feel like, oh.
yeah,
But I need to see that movie. We just got it in at the library. I haven't seen that one yet.
yeah. It was really good. We recently saw Heaven is for Real, which is not a young adult book necessarily. And my husband has read the book. I have not. He said that they were very similar. It was a little cheesy at times. Yeah. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was a good inspirational movie, and I think it was true to the book for the most part. It just had some cheesy moments, and there were a couple parts that I didn't feel like would have been realistic. Like this pastor's church, like, basically wants to fire him because he has said that his son met Jesus, and I'm like, really? Would a church do that? I know my church would not. So
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't think they were as harsh in the book as they were portrayed in the movie. So
That's kind of sad.
makes better characters, I guess, for
Yeah.
the movie.
Some kind of conflict.
Yeah, needed more conflict, I guess. So it was okay.
I don't feel like I've seen many others. I mean, we had been thought of Vampire Academy, which
Yeah,
I've
I
read,
didn't
but
see that,
haven't
and
seen.
that's like, oh my gosh, I love that series.
The movie looked like a comedy.
It
Which
did,
threw
and
me
you know,
off.
and
Like,
when
I
I
don't
think the
remember book
creators of
being a
Mean
comedy.
Girls made it,
Oh, okay.
and so that made me a little nervous. I heard that it wasn't as comedic as it was portrayed to
Oh,
be,
okay.
so I don't think it'll be too much of a letdown. But I haven't seen that one.
Seen that one yet.
I love that series so much. I'm a little nervous.
And what's another one?
Of course, there's quite a few coming out.
Yeah.
The Fault in Our Stars is going to be here within a few weeks,
Yep.
which we're very
Which I
excited about.
saw on, it might have been the DFTBA store website. They have a Fault in Our Stars, like, preparation pack, emergency kit kind of thing that has Kleenexes.
Oh,
and-
gosh.
I mean, it was
I was
this
like, what
whole
kind of
thing. Like,
prep
when
do
you
you
go
need?
to the movie, you'll need
Oh,
all
that's
these things.
cute.
I thought that was
That
hilarious.
is cute.
I probably
You know
will
what?
bring
That's
up lots of
actually a
Kleenex.
cute thing to do for a display.
Mhm.
You know, if you're going to go see this movie, this is what you're going to need for this one.
Yeah.
You know, that's cute. That one obviously looks pretty darn good. If I Stay.
I just saw the trailer for that. I'm kind of excited about that.
It looks great. I know you were a huge fan of that book.
Yes.
Looks really good. And then The Maze Runner, which looks awesome. And
I need to read that.
Still annoyed that they pushed the start date back because
when is it?
It's September, I think. Now
thank
it was
goodness
supposed to
they
be.
have time.
It was supposed to be Valentine's Day, and they pushed it back.
I have time.
Yeah.
I don't
it
know why I
looks
haven't read
really
that.
good.
I've
It
checked
looks
it out
really
3
good.
times, but then some boy always walks in and asks for it, and I'm like, okay, here you go.
But those 3 movies, there were posters at them at the theater the last time we were there. And as we were walking by each one, I was telling my husband, that's a book. That's a book.
Which
and then I
is
got to the 4th
really
one and I'm like,
cool.
I don't know what that one is.
Yeah. It's really cool, to see that trend and for authors of teen lit to be recognized in that way. But at the same time, I want it to slow down. I don't want every book to become a movie. It kind of loses something after a while.
That's true.
The ones that you love, you kind of want to see that, but which of course that makes the great more programming ideas, like who would you cast for a movie, or if you love the book. We've done a couple Hunger Games programs, so it does make it easy on programming. So we've done one for Hunger Games and Catching Fire.
Or even like for a classroom activity, what scenes would you leave out? Which were not too important that they could be left out of the book and the plot would still make sense.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting writing activity.
I had Harry Potter Club on Monday, which is a very tense club. These are passionate people, and somehow one boy wants to just bring the Doctor Who into Harry Potter. It's like, no, we're focusing.
Separate.
But it's funny how kids still, they can't separate. So if they love the books, then it's like they walk in hating the movie before they've even seen it. It's kind of hilarious. I'm like, no, I've learned to, compartmentalize. This is mine.
That's right.
I love them both equally.
But you mentioned this, and I think it is nice. I've especially seen this with The Fault in Our Stars coming out. They're giving just as much attention to the author as they are to the actors, which I really appreciate. I know James Dashner has been in South America promoting the book and, of course, in the movie as well. And I think that's really cool. You see a lot of authors now on the red carpet.
Let's talk about the author cameo.
Yeah.
Should an author have a cameo in the movie Stephenie Meyer Twilight, which was so ridiculous it made me laugh. It was so obvious.
It was, and
Let's
more than one.
Look, there she is.
More than one.
She was at the wedding too.
She was at the.
Was she in each one?
I think just the first and the last.
Okay.
She was, or the first and the first part and the last. She was at the cafe in the first one. Yeah.
It was so obvious. It was ridiculous.
I'm not.
I don't think the
I've
author
heard.
should have
No,
a
I think
cameo.
I heard John Green say that he was filmed, but then it didn't make the final cut.
kind of glad.
Which I am too.
That takes you out of the.
Yeah. It reminds you
movie.
again that you're
Yeah.
at a movie theater
Yeah.
watching actors.
It's been fun to see the types of people now that the movie's coming in to ask for the book. It's pretty hilarious. All age group, men, women, old, this little lady,
so
she
much
had to been
buzz.
about 80, 85. She's like, I want that Fault book. And I was like, The Fault in Our Stars? She goes, yeah, that Fault book. I was like, okay, you're
too
going to be put on
cute.
hold.
Our question of the day is, what is the last book you read? I feel like we've had that one before, but I guess not.
I just finished The Winner's Curse by Maria Rutkowski. I butchered her name, I'm sorry. It was really, really good. I was forced to read it by the other teen librarian, which I'm glad I was. But you think it's a fantasy, but it's not. It's just set in an imaginary world. There's no supernatural, paranormal, or magic or anything like that. But it's about this young girl who lives in a society where women are afforded no independence. So when she turns either 16 or 17, she either has to get married or she has to join the military. And she wants to create a life of her own, and then they've taken over this other country, and there's a revolt. It was so good. You should read it.
Well, I'm almost done with this book, so I'm going to mention it because I'll be finished by the end of the day. It is Takedown by Alison Van Diepen. She wrote Snitch and Street Farm, which I cannot keep on my shelf in the library. They are insanely popular, urban lit. And this one is about a guy who was a drug dealer, and he kind of took the fall for his his gang and went to juvie for 2 years. So now that he's out, he's secretly working for the police, trying to bring the whole gang and drug system down, which is highly dangerous. There have been a lot of shootings and death, but she is a very easy read. She is a fun read, you know, for being gang books. It's actually really entertaining and page turners, and it's been a really good one. I like it. My students
So
are
a
going to
good
love
one
it.
for reluctant
Definitely,
readers.
yeah. She's always on the reluctant reader list, and yeah, this is a good one too. Has brass knuckles on the cover, very tough looking. I always,
You
I
want
always,
some street cred while you're
well, you
walking
know, I
around with
always
a book.
book talk books that have like girls in dresses on the cover,
Yeah.
so it's nice to have one with like.
I like that. Just walk around
Yeah.
the halls of school with that.
Take it to the
That's
gym
right.
with me.
Brass knuckles.
All right, well,
We
that's it
would
for today.
love to hear what your favorite book to movies are, or what book you would love to see turned into
Yeah.
a movie. Make sure you leave your comments and questions below. And look at this, 2 weeks in a row.
Woo.
I just high-fived myself.
You did.
I should probably high-five you. You're right there. We will see you later.
Bye.
Bye. I have to high-five myself a lot at work because no one's around, so I'm just like, yeah. Don't shake your
It's like
head at
that
me.
pat on the back thing. Do people actually do that?
I have never done that.
Me either. But I've also never given myself a high five.
You're going to now. It's going to be in your head. When you're
Usually
excited
when people
about
do this,
something.
it's like, darn it, like,
When you're excited and you're like, no one's here. All right, we're doing this.
yeah.